Good morning, teacher. Good morning, classmate. I in presentation in article investigation uh, declares English 2. Name in article is cognitive load in voice therapy carry over exercises. Team members Karen Lorena Fajardo Ardila, Jenny Marisol Jojoa Garzón, Lisette Camila Ortegón, Gina Lorena López Cruz, and Luis Carlos Rico Diaz.
The cognitive load is selected for pedagogical strategies in behavioral oral motor learning and, more specifically, for our interest and speech therapies in the areas of voice and speech. So, we say that there is an important issue to evaluate such intervention and that it is the requirement of handover for a new speech behavior and that this is sequential full adapted in the spontaneous daily communication of the patient. The speech and language pathologists can select exercises that require increasing amount of cognitive load. The speech strings finally becomes robust in the face of cognitive and communicate distractor. On the basis of clinical experience, the use of memory speech using mechanical first or repetition from memory, for example, reciting the days of the week or the month of the year, it will suit for the initial phase of training a new skill or behavior. For example, a new breathing strategy modifies body posture or more relaxing muscle during speech. The reason is that rote speech involves minimal cognitive and communicate load and therefore always more attention to be paid to the sensory and perceptual speech. According to Kahneman 1973 and Posner 1982, cognitive load is a construct that represents cognitive effort or attention necessary to perform a task. And Sweller 1988 then as that cognitive load theory has been used in educational psychology to explain how effective learning can be facilitated through the design of appropriate tasks and instruction. We can also call this concept of cognitive load mental effort. It is that attention is put into play during the execution of tasks, and it is thought that attention is mental resource of limited capacity.
Method subject 12 healthy female university student with a number age of 22 years. None of them had any experience with clinical voice therapy. None the subject had an history for smoking, allergy, asthma, or visual impairment. Method speech tags. A subject perform three speech tags A, B, and C. Tags A involved rote speech for which subject were instructed to repeat the days of the week over and over. In text B, subject were instructed to construct sentence in and set for that contained an element on free shoes. Tag C involved semi-spontaneous speech and subject were instructed to describe how they would prepare a past sauce. Method secondary tags. The secondary tags what three alternative foreshows visual discrimination tags in which subjects were represented with three kanji ideograms. The symbol that was different be pressing the correspond button on response box. Method instrumentation. The visual stimuli were present on computer monitor. The audio signal from speech text we record using a microphone, compact disc recording, and integrated stereo amplifier. Glottal activity and vertical larynx position were registered using a glottal interface two-channel electroglottogram. Method acoustic analyze 5 acoustic parameters were analyzed with software. Average speak pitch was analyzed through mean voice, variation, the range, intonation, movement, mean level difference between the first and second harmonic of all voice segments was measured for the three speak tags.
It was found that the mean response times showed a clear difference between speech conditions, being faster for rote speech, somewhat longer for semi-spontaneous speech, and longer for sentence speech. Speech memory stick scored the lowest, sentence speech the highest, and semi-spontaneous speech was in between the two. The internal consistency of the questionnaire was also enhanced with the alpha chromash, which was 77 for rote speech, 88 for sentence for speech, and 95 for semi-spontaneous speech. This can be compared to one representing perfect reliability. The highest peak represents the fundamental frequency occurring most frequently in the sequence. A narrower visual pattern can be seen for route space preceding the days of the week, representing a more monotonous intonation pattern compared to sentence speech and semi-spontaneous speech.
Discussion. The present investigation was an attempt to document wide empirical data and hierarchical structure among three speech activities with regard to their level of cognitive load. Rote speech typical refers to overlearned, recite or formulaic utterance of various kinds, including counting, familiar, lyrics, and nursery rhymes. Although neurological mechanisms beneath birth, hand-on speech are not yet completely understood, studies of parents with brain lesions indicate that vocal behavior is hierarchically organized and that different speech activities enhance cerebral networks in unique combinations. For example, speech that is repeated and speech that is read aloud seem to require a less amount of attention of effort. While parents mechanically recite the days of the week, the speech-language pathology can verbally guide them to interpret their intrinsic feedback and focus on functional production aspects of the voice, e.g. relaxation in the neck musculature, Such attention, analysis, and cognitive activation of the parent may play a role in the inhibition of all habits and are believed to facilitate new motor and behavioral learning in terms of new stream construction and ultimate automatization in real life situations. Iverson, Olhons, 2014. Future perspectives regarding research on cognitive load include a need to empirically investigate various learning factors involved in speech. A traditional definition of cognitive load includes the mental effort required by a task in terms of working memory loop. Yap 2012. However, for speech activity, cognitive load may be better framed in terms of attention.
It can be concluded for the results that response to the task were determined between 94 and 97, indicating in all three speech conditions. This being the fastest for root speech, longed for semi-spontaneous speech, and longed for set form sentence speech, leading to automation of the received speech behavior, and that self-reports can be a reliable index of cognitive load.